Good evening and happy Election Day, everyone. Thank you for joining the Green Party of the United States GreenStream for election night. I'm Gloria Matera. I'm co-chair of the Green Party of the United States Media Committee, also co-chair of the Green Party of New York, coming to you from Brooklyn, and I'd like to introduce my co-host for this part of the show.
Yeah, my name is Peter Lavinia. I'm also co-chair of the Green Party of New York, and I'm coming to you from Albany, New York, so a little bit further upstate. Welcome, everyone.
And probably for those of you who may not know, the Green Party of New York is not on the ballot. But we are on the GreenStream, so we're going to bring you some candidates tonight from their election headquarters, from their parties. They're joining together with their volunteers, and hope you enjoy getting to know some of the Green Party candidates across the country. Peter, did you want to say anything briefly about New York, and then we can always share more information later?
Yeah, here in New York, we lost our ballot status 4 years ago because of the Democrats and the Republicans joining together to pass legislation that made it hard to retain ballot access. As you know, they operate like a cartel to try and keep alternative voices like the Greens out. And they made it very difficult to get ballot status back. Maybe I'll talk about a little bit later in the stream. I just had an article in the New York Daily News about this yesterday. So I can discuss the particulars later on. But certainly here in New York, it's been more difficult because, the administration before the current one essentially said they didn't want voices like the Greens to be heard, essentially. And so we've had to fight to get, Jill's name out there, and she is a write-in candidate here in New York. And we've been having a lot of people over the last few months tell us they're going to write her in. And we're seeing today that is the case on social media. So many people excited to write Jill in and to participate in this green wave.
Great. Thanks, Peter. So we're going to bring you our first candidate, or a few candidates to talk to. And we're actually going to go live to the headquarters for Jill Stein and Butch Ware. And we are going to bring on Justin Paglino. He's co-field director of the Stein Ware campaign. And he also is a candidate himself running for U.S. Senate in Connecticut. So we are going to welcome Justin.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Justin.
Hello, Greens everywhere. It's great to have you with us tonight. Thanks for being here. I'm reporting live from campaign headquarters, so to speak, here in Dearborn, Michigan. The Jill Stein campaign. We're having our Victory Eve party here. I'm going to take you around the room and show you some of what's going on. The room is abuzz with a lot of media here tonight. A lot of media from near and far. Here we have, we have this doing let's see. I have to be able to see what I'm showing you. Wait, this gentleman behind me doing some kind of live stream. We have Wissam. Say hi, Wissam. Wissam has been very helpful. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, Wissam Sharafuddin. I'm an activist with Jill Stein's campaign.
Yes, and Wissam, you're married to Nara, who's been one of our key staff members on the Jill Stein campaign. And Wissam, I know you've helped so much, so thank you. You're talking to the Green Party of the United States.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet everyone, and the movement just started, and we are very excited. And we're going to be organizing November 6th and up, where the real work starts without all the chatter and distractions.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wissam. I'll take you around and meet some other people who are here. We have the podium is set up. You can see in the background. We have press buzzing all around. I'll show you that Jill is having an interview right now, so I can't grab her. But if you can see, there's Jill. I can do.
Yep. We see her. We hope we might get a few words from her when she finishes, if you're still on with us.
Yeah.
I'd love to get a few words from her if I can. Here's Michelle DeVilliers. Say hi.
Hi.
Michelle has been instrumental this campaign, getting us on the ballot all over the country, driving everywhere. You're talking to the Green Party of the United States. Say hi, Michelle.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Michelle.
Michelle, thanks for joining us.
Michelle joined New York to help us petition.
Yes, Michelle has done everything and been everywhere and has been instrumental and absolutely fantastic.
And she's also instrumental right now. She needs to help me find.
Yes,
Yeah.
she has.
Hi, Michelle.
Let me introduce you to some other people. Elena, say hi to the Green Party of the United States.
Hi, Green Party of the United States.
Well, Helena.
And Elena has been doing our amazing graphics for the campaign the entire time and has all the wonderful graphics you've seen. She churns them out. What's your message tonight to the public, Elena?
Oh my goodness. I did not rehearse this. There's so much potential here for artists, for creatives to just, absolutely explore just new ways of depicting politics. And so, yeah, I'm very excited.
We're all very excited tonight. There's a lot of energy in the room. Jill, say hi for 2 seconds.
Hi, Jill.
Jill.
That's Jill. I mean, we are. I'm sorry, we're so frantic here. Say hi to Betsy.
Hi, Betsy.
Betsy has been doing social media like a pro, and she is a pro. And we have been having, talk about our social media. It's been amazingly successful.
It's been amazing. We have, Jill's social media platforms have absolutely exploded. We have a really wonderful team working for us, and looking forward to see what we can do with them after Election Day. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, we love your work. We love the social media that's the campaign puts out.
Oh, it's been great.
Thank you guys so much.
Yay! Hooray, Betsy! That's Betsy. She's fantastic. Here's Dave Schwab. Can you say a quick hello, Dave?
Dave Schwab.
Green Party.
Hey. Former New York State Green.
Yes,
Dave
it's Gloria
Schwab.
and Peter. Well, Gloria and Peter, your old comrades from New York.
Hey, Gloria.
I didn't know you used to be in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I grew up in New York.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
All right.
They're in Albany.
That's right. Well, Bethlehem, New York, to be exact. Albany County, 518.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Dave.
Great to see you.
Yeah. Dave has the comms, the email, the press, the crafting of the message, the this and the that. Kind of the in a lot of ways has crafted the phrasing of so much of our messaging that's gone out and has been vital to getting it right.
Yeah, really good. Jason,
What else?
Justin, could you tell us, maybe just tell everybody why you are holding, this election night event in Dearborn?
Well, why are we holding this event? Well, we have invited we're having it in Dearborn because we have a lot of support here in Dearborn. I went to eat at a restaurant the other night, and I told the waitress noticed my pin for a Free Palestine, and she said, "I like your pin," and I said, "Thank you. I'm actually here in Dearborn because Jill Stein is here in Dearborn, and I'm working for her on the campaign." And you should have seen the waitress's excitement and that Jill Stein was here and that I was working for her. She was so excited to meet someone from the campaign, and she, her eyes popped out of her head, and she said, everyone I know here is supporting Jill. So this is a real hotbed of support for the campaign. The way that Jill has taken a stand on the genocide in Gaza. Oh, hey guys, say hi, Rick. Say hi.
Hi,
Hey, Rick.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Rick. It's Gloria and Peter from New York hosting the event. It was so nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Rick Lass, who has been instrumental in getting our campaign ballot access across the country. So many volunteers and donors helped with this effort. It was a team effort, but Rick was really at the helm, and we are so proud of the ballot access that we got. Now this is my first time seeing Rick in person today because we've been meeting by Zoom the whole campaign.
That's right.
First time, long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in New York, we'd like to, show our appreciation to you also, Rick. We fell short of what we needed to do, but you were really a big support to us and really gave us a lot of information and help.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been my pleasure. It's great to have gotten on as many ballot lines as we did. And hopefully we'll hold on to a bunch of those after tonight's results.
Oh, maybe you should say how many
Hopefully.
ballot lines we are
Yeah.
on where people were able to vote for Jill. Can you tell us?
I said 38 states
We're,
plus 8 write-ins.
That's right. 38 were listed on the ballot and 8 more she can be written in.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thanks,
Yes.
everybody. Appreciate
Yes,
all the
and
work.
that's a reminder that, votes for Jill help us keep those ballot lines, those hard-earned ballot lines. Ballot access is a real bear. It's very stressful, very difficult. We need ballot access reforms. Here's Rose Roby. Say hi, Rose.
Hello. Hi, Rose. You're live with the Green Party of United States live stream tonight.
Yeah, you're talking to the Green Party of the United States, Rose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, great job. We're going places. We're going big places, and we know it.
Big
Yay.
places.
It's just getting started.
Just
Yes, it
getting
is.
started. You heard it here first. I want to introduce you to Brittany. Say hi, Brittany.
Oh, looks like you
Hi,
caught her
Brittany.
with
You kind of surprised
an
Brittany, didn't
opportune
you?
moment.
What's that?
I think Brittany needs a moment, Justin.
Yeah.
You didn't give her time.
She's eating, but Brittany was our deputy ballot access director and has also been instrumental in getting us ballot access. Take a bow, Brittany. Yes.
Yay.
Yes, so many people to thank for all that we've accomplished with this campaign. Not all of them are here. Many of them are here. Oh, Mark Alborno. Hey. Mark Alborno.
Hi, Mark.
Fantastic individual, very instrumental in helping us achieve all the success we have with this campaign.
It takes two to tango. So everybody involved in the team has
Go
an
we go.
amazing effort.
Yeah, it's taken like 2,000 or 200,000 to tango.
Absolutely.
I want to say to Mark that he's been so, this is the first time I'm seeing him kind of face to face. It's Gloria and Peter from Green Party of New York, but you've been so inspirational, organizing people on the WhatsApp discussions. I've heard you at the rallies, the virtual rallies that, Jill and Butch are doing, and you really inspire everyone, I think, and you really show by example how much effort, resources, time, money we need to put into building this movement.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's that's what everybody should be doing. That's what everybody should be doing. Because this election, it actually makes a lot everybody should do the same thing, that fighting for their life, because this is actually what we're doing right now. The other two parties are just destroying us, and the Green is the only hope for actually a better life for not just the U.S., for the world itself. And we really appreciate Bill and everybody in the team.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. It's been a pleasure and a privilege, and we will keep working together. Yes.
Justin, how's Jill doing? Is she, might she be available before, maybe in the next 5 minutes or so before New Jersey calls in?
Looks like Jill is on some kind of interview. You can watch her.
Okay. We can. Maybe, Justin, do you want to talk briefly about your campaign or any of the campaigns in Connecticut while we have your ear?
What's that?
Do you want to talk about your campaign or any campaigns in Connecticut while we have your ear?
Sure. Well, I'm on the ballot for U.S. Senate in the state of Connecticut, and I'm hoping to retain that ballot line so we can keep running. My opponent is Chris Murphy, who's a Democrat, and he voted in April to send more weapons to Israel in the middle of a genocide. He voted to defund UNRWA, and he has opposed Medicare for all. So he has been marching kind of in lockstep with the corporate corporate agenda of the Democratic Party and the empire agenda. Oh, Kathy. Wait, I got to introduce you guys to Kathy.
Sure.
You guys know Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Nice.
Kathy also came to New York and braved the subway on her own to go and petition for us in Manhattan and Brooklyn.
Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's Kathy. Kathy's been fantastic today. Kathy and I went out to the busy street corner and waved some Jill Stein signs and got some honks here for Jill. And yeah, so we also have other candidates who are Green Party candidates in Connecticut. We have Ahmed Darwish, whose wife's family. Well, his wife has family who is still unrecovered under the rubble in Gaza. So I mean, this is a candidate with a very close connection to the horrors that are happening in Gaza. He's a Palestinian American, and he's our write-in candidate in the 5th district, and Ahmed Darwish. And then we have Shad Omar, write-in in the 3rd, also Palestinian American. We have Mary Sanders, who's run before with us in the Green Party of Connecticut in the 1st district. Jeff Russell, a write-in in the 2nd. So, in every voter in Connecticut can vote against genocide 3 times at the presidential, Senate, and House level. And we have some other down ballot candidates for state Senate and registrar of voters as well. So we're hoping for the best. And, I think the bottom line is, one of the major goals for this campaign has been to inspire people to learn about the Green Party, get excited about the Green Party, learn what we stand for. Jill's been a great spokesperson for our values. And, I think that we have really raised the profile of the party. And now our goal is to translate that enthusiasm into more active Greens, more active members that can build chapters, build state parties, join the committees of the National Party. And, as a co-chair of the National Party, that is really my hope, that we're going to see a lot of this enthusiasm continue and translate into volunteer hours and work from people to build the party, run more candidates, and keep the momentum going. Because, we believe in this project of escaping the two-party system, and building out a third party is absolutely essential, necessary if we're ever going to get out of the two-party system. Only makes sense. You need to build third parties and vote for third parties and support them. And that will put on the pressure to get more electoral reforms like ranked choice voting, proportional representation, and then we can be done with all these tired arguments about lesser evils and so on and so on. And that will be a much healthier democracy. So I'm looking forward to that.
Do you want to talk briefly maybe about how people might get involved after today, like how they might sign up for information from the Green Party of the United States, and become a volunteer or become active if they want to?
Well, certainly the website's easy to remember. It's gp.org, and you can go and sign up to be connected to get the emails. But you should also go to the state parties page and find your state party, or just put in Google the name of your state and Green Party and find the Green Party in your state. Or write to our secretary at gp.org, to ask any questions about how you can get connected. We're a state part. The state party is the key unit of our organization, and under that are the different chapters, local chapters, and then people who are in those Green parties then volunteer to be members of the National Party and help the National Party function in all the things it does with fundraising and communications, publicity, and of course running presidential candidates, and the annual national meeting, and the presidential nominating convention every 4 years, where we nominate our presidential candidate. So there's plenty of work to be done. The good news is, for anyone who wants to make a difference, there is work to be done. There's a role for you. We want you to get involved, and we need you, and we can use you. And there's a lot of pressing problems in the world.
Yeah.
And it's important work, but this is a vehicle. This is a way to make a difference in the world that I believe in, and I want to encourage everyone to consider really dedicating yourself to this as well, and getting involved and making a difference.
Yeah, it reminds me of something that our presidential nominee in 2000, Ralph Nader, said. Go, we go, right? This is a people powered party. It's a volunteer based party. You know, we're not taking big corporate donations. We need you, right? We need people on the ground who believe in green values. And so I think what you're saying is right on, right? Is that we got to build from the grassroots. And next year is going to be local election time, right? I'm assuming in Connecticut too, and that's a great place for Greens to get involved right on the ground.
Yeah, there are elections every year, and so we build on the strength of the momentum of our experience from previous elections to go back and do it all again and keep pushing. Say hi real quick to Jason, our campaign manager. Say hi.
Jason.
Hi, Jason.
We're gonna get started with our live stream here in about 5 minutes. So I'm trying to help Jill get through media spots so that we maintain some sense of timing here. It's a madhouse.
We understand. We were hoping Jill might say a few words, but maybe later on we'll see. But we'll tell you that you're doing your live stream too.
We'll relax later.
That's Jason, our campaign manager. He's been working so hard in addition to his regular job and his own run for U.S. House this year, at least up until the primary, the jungle primary that they have in Washington. Boo, jungle primaries. We do not support those. And has been really just filling in wherever he's needed on this campaign. It's amazing the amount of things that have fallen to Jason. I've seen a lot of things fall to Jason because sometimes he's just the best person to get it done, and he always gets it done. It's been a very intense year. It feels like this is a big night. It's the culmination of a lot of work. It's great to have the media attention we have here tonight. And, what can I say? We're going to, we're still, everyone is still working at their laptops, still putting out social media posts and answering communications. It's not over until it's really over. So I appreciate everybody in the Green Party. I thank you all for being green. And yeah, I don't know. I think I've talked to most of the people that I may have missed somebody.
I'm trying to think who else is there that you can, I guess, where Butch is celebrating election night someplace else.
Well, you can say hi to LeBeau. Hey, LeBeau.
Hi, LeBeau.
Everybody's eating. It's dinner time there. Okay. Hi, LeBeau.
Hello. Everything you guys are doing to help support. And, this is the day. Today's the day. We're super excited.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I learned last night that LeBeau is how do you say the word?
Sommelier.
A sommelier.
Oh my goodness.
Well, maybe we can do a live stream about that. Green Party one day.
Get a nice glass of wine in LeBeau.
Yeah. He brought to celebrate. He brought some wines for us to try last night. One of them was a 1974 Cabernet. I was born in 1973, so to be drinking a wine that was bottled when I was 1 year old felt pretty like drinking a time capsule or something. It was kind of
amazing.
So yeah, I'm learning more about people. Here's Betsy again.
Hey, Betsy.
Hi, Betsy.
Guys, I don't know if my time is almost over, but
yeah,
I want to wish you guys the best of luck with the live stream tonight. Should I keep the content going? Are we waiting for New Jersey to come on next? Or
I think we're good. I think New Jersey is coming in. So we can send you back to doing all the important work you're doing. And, maybe we'll hear from you later. We'll check in if that's possible. But I know your live stream is going on soon too. So we want to wish you good luck and send lots of love to all the campaign who worked so hard.
say hi really fast.
Hi, really fast.
Yay, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
I can't see you without my glasses on, but I think I see Gloria and
Peter.
Good to see you guys. All right.
Just you too, Jill.
Okay.
Good
Sorry,
luck.
that's all we're gonna get. I'm afraid. I'm sorry.
Good enough. We thank you very much. Good luck tonight.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks, Justin.
Bye, Justin. And thanks everyone. Well, I know it was kind of a little busy there, but it's kind of fun to see what happens actually at campaign headquarters on election night.
Yeah, it's
I
great
think
to
we've done
see.
a few of those, right, Peter?
Yeah, more than a few, and it's great to see them celebrating for what they've done. This has been an incredible campaign, really important campaign, and so to see them there and the media there and people coming together and still working to the end, I think is great.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely, and I think we have several of our candidates from New Jersey ready to come on the live stream.
Wonderful.
Hi
Hi.
there.
Hi.
Hello. How are you guys?
Good. So we have John Serrano. Wave your hand, John, so people know who you
Hello,
are.
hello.
And Ben Taylor.
How you going?
I'm Gloria Matera from the Green Party of New York and the National Media Committee, hosting with Peter
I'm
Lavinia.
also from Green Party of New York.
Yeah,
It's a New York show today.
Oh, you're
we're
guys
neighbors.
So
We're
we're
neighbors.
neighbors. Oh my gosh, what are you guys doing over there?
So I know you're part of the Green 13, but why don't you both introduce yourselves and a little bit about your campaign, where you are in terms actually right now, and what's happening with the Green 13.
Okay, so first of all, I do want to report that right now we're getting results that have been deemed historical. Ben Taylor has 56,000 votes and is leading in District 9 right now.
Oh my goodness. Wonderful.
32% reporting, I believe. What was the last reporting percentage?
I still just keep seeing 29.
29%. 29% reporting, and the Democrat is at 14.5%. So I did just want to say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it a two-way or three-way race? Ben?
4 technically.
Well, technically, right.
With the Libertarian candidate as well.
Yeah.
And then as for my district, I believe it's 21% reporting. I have like 1% of the vote right now. I believe it's still too early to call. So regardless, I still want to introduce myself. My name is John. I am 24 years old. I am Gen Z. I am Hispanic, openly gay. I have been fighting for the Green Party since the beginning of this year, and this campaign has meant absolutely everything to me. And to get here has been such a full circle moment. And this has just become the start of my dreams. And ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to do this. And I feel like now I've gained the experience to move forward. So that's me.
Great. And Ben, tell us about who you are, your campaign.
Sure, yeah. So,
No, you don't hold it.
Yeah, my name is Ben Taylor. I am running for New Jersey's 9th Congressional District, and I'm 25 years old, so not much past John here. Also Gen Z. Been an activist for Green Party values really ever since I was old enough to get involved in all this stuff. So it's been really great to be able to get out there and campaign, especially with the ongoing genocide against Palestine and now Lebanon and expanding. My district has a very large Arab and Palestinian and Muslim community. So that's certainly been a big point of...
It's a big help.
Yeah, honestly, these people have felt really disenfranchised from the system since I've been alive. So.
Yeah, I mean, we have a very large Palestinian American population in New Jersey alone. And so we hope to have a big turnout since we are the only, anti-genocide candidate on the ballot. So, we really hope for a very big turnout. And also did want to mention, we are also the co-chairs of the Green Party of New Jersey. So that is also something that, we obtained, pretty early into the game, and that, we're still working on and building, and, we plan to go really far with it.
Yeah, and we have a lot of great advice from some of the other members in the party who have been doing it for a while.
Well, congratulations, both will be co-chairs and candidates. You both mentioned your age, your first time run for you. So it sounds like you've been recently members of the Green Party. Maybe you can each talk a little bit about what attracted you to the party, what brought you to this point, and why you decided to run.
Yeah, totally. So when I knew about the Green Party back in 2012 when Jill Stein first ran, I was 12. I was 12 years old. And I only knew her by name, and then 2016 came, and I began to look into the Green Party and what it stood for. And fast forward to 2024, I ended up being discovered by a Green, and I became a candidate because I had originally started running as a Democrat, and I eventually decided that the party wasn't built for me anymore, and I saw through the fraudulence, and I was ready to take the action necessary.
Yeah, so I mean, my story is sort of similar, but a little bit different too. I wasn't super engaged with electoral politics for most of my adult life, actually. I always really felt like politicians are bought out, and now that's a reality for the two major parties, especially. Like, it's really something that I have always felt needs a grassroots voice and a grassroots movement. And a People's Congress was something that really resonated with me. And I think that that's a huge thing as to why I wanted to join the Green Party. And, when the genocide, or this stage of the genocide, really started to unfold in October of last year, I remember sitting there and seeing what was going down. And I've always been a voice for anti-imperialist struggles and seen the ways in which it hurts people all around the world and us here at home. So it was something that really resonated with me in terms of the Green Party's platform.
Do you want to talk briefly about maybe how Jill inspired you this year, or how the campaign might have unfolded in New Jersey?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll start off because it was a whirlwind to even back in July meet Jill Stein. She came to New Jersey, and we hosted an event, to have her recognize the Green 13 as a whole, and to tell the people that we are here. And that moment alone, I knew that I was made to be within this party and made to be right by Jill's side and build this party up to what it is meant to be.
Yeah, no, I echo a lot of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Jill Stein was really like one of my personal heroes, kind of growing up and learning about politics and looking for the third party kind of left voice in politics. And Jill Stein was always the person who kind of came to mind, and reading up on what she's done in her sort of activist history and into her runs for the presidency, and always the way that she is very shamelessly serving, I think, the interests of regular people, not just in America, but all around the world. And I think that that's a really beautiful thing.
Are there other issues either one of you are kind of campaigning on, or that are important issues that are happening in your district, kind of in addition to, of course, connecting to the large Palestinian Arab Muslim communities that you're representing?
Well, Ben and I actually spent our campaign trails together, like the entire time. We were campaigning in both districts the entire time collectively, and there was always pushback when it came to the lawn signs at first. People just immediately took them up. They disappeared within hours. And, we could feel the silencing going on right before us. And I had never felt it to that extent. And it just made me so angry that I just threw a million signs down.
No, absolutely. Yeah, so for my campaign, the slogan that I kind of settled on, it was a little bit of a spin on, I don't actually know if it's a national slogan. I think it's Jill's campaign slogan, People, Planet, Peace, I believe.
People, Planet,
so
Peace.
My rendition was peace, health, and housing. So the two kind of things that I wanted to advocate for was universal health care, Medicare for all type system, because this was something that's been very important to me. I've struggled to find health care as a young person. I know a lot of people are very, very concerned about that. And then housing, another thing that I've personally struggled to deal with. And these are crucial, central issues that are very important, not just to my district, but also to New Jersey kind of as a whole right now.
And
Great.
I also did want to mention that like one of my main factors when it was coming into running this year was the division and the duopoly making itself even more known than before, which is why I ended up coming up with the slogan for advocacy and visibility for all in my in my own kind of advertisement over social media, because I believe that everyone deserves that voice, and I believe that the Green Party has done nothing but give people that opportunity to use their voice, and I will forever be grateful for that.
Can you talk a little bit about how Gen Z views the Democrats, Republicans, right? Gloria and I are both old people. But
where to start?
Yeah, it's a very mixed crowd. These days I have witnessed many of my friends not want to vote third party because they believe that it is a vote for the opposite party. And that's the common misconception that we hear every single day as third party candidates, and that we're gonna continue to hear for the rest of our history.
Yeah. No, I think that that's totally right. And the other thing that is really important, I think, for Gen Z is that we don't feel beholden to the two parties most of the time, I would say. And certainly there's a lot of us who do feel certain ways about the Democrats and the Republicans also as well. But I think that there's this very, I think that we're further left than a lot of other generations.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard this from people too. It's not just necessarily my observation. I've heard it from a lot of people who say this is a generation of people who really don't take the nonsense from politics anymore.
Yeah, thank you for that. So I think earlier one of you mentioned the Green 13. So I don't know if everybody knows what that's about, and if any of the 13 are with you tonight that might join us.
Yeah.
So the Green 13 is how we have 14 electoral votes. We have 14 positions in Congress. We have 12 House reps, 2 Senate. So since there was an open seat for Senate, we were able to have 13 candidates, one for every congressional district, and then we have Christina for the Senate. So that came out to be the Green 13.
I love it, especially because, we have heard this terrible lie in the media that, the Greens don't run any down ballot races, but you're running them in every district.
Yeah,
yes.
It's for the first time in 24 years, which is, that history. History's being made right now.
Great accomplishment to have that. Are any other candidates there with you now that we might bring to our
who is here
audience?
I don't think anyone's here right now. Yeah, they're coming
having
soon.
folks coming up, since not everybody was able to go between North Jersey and South Jersey. We actually are having kind of 2 separate watch parties in a way. So some of them are going to come up here to meet with us, and because we're going a little bit later up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And so Christina's in the South Jersey or the North Jersey?
I believe she's at the South Jersey one. I'm not 100% sure.
Right. But maybe you can tell us a little bit, where are you actually now, and who's there, and what's happening?
So we're actually in my district right now at this bar called Crosswoods. It's in this town called Garwood. It's a very small town within my district. And it's since it's Tuesday night, it's not that crazy. It's very calm in here. There's some light music. They even changed the lights to green. So, it's very nice of that. And New Jersey has always been home to both of us. And I believe that we have this certain type of loyalty to do what's best for Jersey in itself.
Yeah.
Environmentally, ending division, stopping the duopoly, all of that stuff. I believe we're both devoted to, making that change here in New Jersey.
Absolutely.
That's great. Terrific. Great. So anything else you would like to share with everyone about your campaigns, about what's happening? What about after the campaigns?
Tell us how to get involved with you.
Oh, I love this question.
I will be around. I will be in the streets. I will be protesting as I have been. So, the other thing that I have studied for a long time that many people, if maybe a fun fact, may not quite know about me is I'm a mycologist. So I actually study fungi and I study mushrooms. It's very interesting to me. So definitely getting back into researching some of the native fungi we have here in the state is always a pleasure.
Can you give us some of the social media that people might connect to you or the Green Party of New Jersey on if they're watching?
Yeah, I mean, so my Instagram is John for Congress. That's JONFOR, not the number 4, Congress. And I will be here. I'm not going anywhere.
And what is the GPNJ?
It's at the GPNJ on Instagram. If anywhere else, it is most likely the GPNJ. We try to keep it similar across all platforms.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram. That's at Ben Taylor NJ, and I believe the Twitter for the Green Party of New Jersey is at Green Party of NJ.
Okay.
That's terrific. And we have a schedule for tonight, but it's a live stream and it's election night. And so if you could contact us either through Craig, I know he's on his way there. As more of your results are coming in, Ben, I think we really like to keep people updated.
Totally. We'll see if it's for
up.
real or what's going on here.
Yeah, we're gonna go check the numbers right now. So thank you guys so much though for having us on here. This is truly such an honor. Thank you.
That's super exciting. Great. And well, thanks for being here. And why don't we can take a quick break if that's possible. And then we're going to, I need to leave and hop on another live stream in a few minutes. Somebody else will come in along with Peter and they'll have a conversation with themselves and some other candidates. But we can take a short break. That would be nice. And thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
I actually just wanted to report one more time.
Absolutely.
Ben is at 44% of the vote with 57,214 votes at 42% of the votes in.
That's amazing. Oh, congratulations.
We're on track right now. We are on track to win.
Well, we want to check back with you.
Yes,
please.
We'll be back. Just get right back with you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Talk soon.
Bye.
All right. Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
Well, hello, Peter. Um, so I guess we were hoping for another guest, Talia Fitzgerald from North Carolina,
That's true.
who unfortunately had a bit of a health issue
Yeah.
today.
Mark, do you want to introduce yourself to the live stream?
Oh, sure. I'm Mark Dunley. I'm active with the Eco Action Committee of the Green Party United States. One of the co-founders of the Green Party of New York, I believe back in 1991 or so, and helped manage a number of our statewide campaigns. And I guess 5 years ago at this point, you were my campaign manager.
I was.
I was the Green Party candidate for New York State Controller, and particularly was part of my ongoing effort in the climate movement to get the state controller to divest from fossil fuels. We had won that issue at the New York City level. I think it is the second or third biggest public pension fund in the United States, and wanted to do the same thing at the federal level. I'm sorry, the state level.
State level.
And eventually, Tom DiNapoli, about a year afterwards, after the campaign, did agree to divest in exchange for a bill which almost had a majority in both houses sponsor, and agreed that he would divest following the New York City process. But actually, about a year ago, unfortunately, he backed out of that agreement, arguing that, in fact, his independent investigation had determined that most of the big oil and gas companies were actually doing a pretty good job on climate, with no need to divest.
And Tom DiNapoli is a comptroller of New York, correct?
New York State Controller, that is correct.
Yeah.
And you had an op-ed, I guess, this week in the Daily News, which is one of the 2 or 3 big tabloids in New York City. And, you know, some of the voters today may have been kind of stunned that only the Democrat and Republican were on the ballot for president in New York State, which I'm not sure of the exact timeline, but maybe the first time in a century that occurs. What was that all about?
You're absolutely right. New York State only has 2 candidates on the ballot this year, officially printed for president, Harris and Trump. And that's really rare. It's the only state in 2024, and I believe in the last half century, there may have only been 1 or 2 other states where that's actually happened. Up until 24, we've usually had 4 or even 5 candidates on the ballot, usually a Green Party candidate, sometimes a libertarian or a socialist. But what happened in 2020 was one of the kind of maneuverings of the Democrats and Republicans to limit competition like a cartel. And so what I wrote about in my op-ed for the Daily News was how that happened and how we can change it. So the short story is, in the pandemic budget of 2020, the now disgraced Governor Andrew Cuomo put a provision in the bill that made it difficult to keep your ballot status, so that we went from needing 50,000 votes for governor to needing either 130,000 or 2% of the vote for governor and for president, right? So whichever is harder, and every 2 years. And this in the middle of an election cycle. People have no idea that this has changed. It's in a pandemic year. And so we lose ballot access like everyone else that isn't a party that just cross endorses Democrats or Republicans.
So why didn't you sue and try to get back on?
Because we're an independent left-wing party here in New York.
But you did sue.
We did sue, right? And so we don't cross endorse. We're an independent left-wing party. We did sue. The courts have just ignored the information that we presented to them each time. You know, I've been on these calls with judges. They just don't read the briefs and they rule against us. So we've had not only a problem with the law being changed, but then the judicial system seems to be rigged against us too. So not only that, it's difficult to keep your ballot status, but then it used to be not easy, but not impossible to get back on the ballot here in New York. We did it a couple of times in the 2000s. We got different presidential candidates and statewide candidates on. You used to need only about 15,000 signatures to do it over the course of about 42 days. It used to be in the summer. You'd go out, it would be nice weather, music festivals, and you could get that 15,000 signatures. But again, Andrew Cuomo wanted to get rid of people on the ballot, get rid of parties, get rid of independent candidates. And so they tripled the amount of signatures that you need. So you now need 45,000 in 42 days, which, according to Richard Winger of Ballot Access News, is the toughest in the nation, right? And so we got 42,000, which is a heroic effort. So I wrote about this. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he said that he spent over $1 million to try and do it. We spent over about 300,000. And what I said was, look, if it costs over $1 million and you can't even get on the ballot, that really means, even though theoretically you could, it's really not possible. They've rigged the system so that here in New York, there's just no real possibility of us getting back on the ballot, right? And so what I said at the end was, New York, under the current governor Hochul and the legislature, should move to change this law. We should promote competition, right? The Democrats always are talking about voter choice and democracy, right? That's their big refrain. Well, why not fix it in New York so that we have a gold standard, right? At the end, I say there are plenty of examples. If you look at a state like New Jersey, we just had New Jersey Greens on. You need 800 signatures, only 800 to get a presidential candidate on. That's it's a very good standard, I think. Or out in Nevada, you have a way for parties to get ballot access that doesn't depend on the presidential vote only or the gubernatorial vote. You have 3 different ways. You either can have 1% of all the registrants in the state. You can get that 1% of the vote, right, of any statewide candidate, or you can have, I'm trying to remember, you can have 1%, and I'll take a look here. I should know this, but you can have 1% of the total votes for any partisan office, or 1% of the total signatures compared to the last congressional election in Nevada. So there's plenty of different ways to do it. That's not the only way, but I said, why not make it easy so that we can have real robust democracy here in New York? And I recommend people check it out. It's, you can go to my Twitter page, Vote Lavinia, or you can go to the Daily News and it's there. But really what I'm saying is, the parties have made it difficult for the Greens, and we know why, but we can make it better. We know how to make it better, and we should make it better.
Well, you mentioned New Jersey. You only need 800 signatures for a statewide ballot. And understand on the line or on our video how it works. We have Barry Bender, who is a candidate for the United States House of Reps in New Jersey, District 4. So hopefully Barry will be joining us any second.
Wonderful.
There's Barry.
Hello, hold on. It's really noisy here, guys. We're watching.
That's okay.
We don't know if it's a mistake or not, but according to the Associated Press and New Jersey Network News, we have a candidate who's leading in Congressional District 9 with 44% of the vote in. And he's leading by quite a bit.
We were just talking with him. Benjamin, right?
Yeah, Ben is. We're getting conflicting stories that these people are wrong, but I don't see how Associated Press could be wrong. So
that's amazing.
I asked Ben if I should bring smelling salts when I go up there for him.
Well, we might have our first green in Congress.
Well, it's hard to hear. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn my volume up a little bit. I think we're up all the way. There's a lot of cheering going on here.
That's wonderful. No, that's incredible. We might have our first green in Congress, I said.
We're doing well. For us, we're doing well. Most of the candidates are pulling pretty close to 1% or more. So we're doing pretty good in New Jersey.
So why don't you tell us a little about yourself and your
I'm having problems hearing. I'm going to put my head closer.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your campaign?
Oh, man, I can't hear. Hey, guys, can you hold 1 second? I want to hear what they're saying. Do that one more time.
Barry, tell us about yourself and your campaign.
Oh, me? Okay. Well, because we got 4 candidates here. There's 4 candidates that are. I'm running in Congressional District 4. I'm pulling. What am I? I'm not at 1%. Yeah, I just went over 1,000 votes. Congressional District 4 has been owned by a gentleman, Republican, named Chris Smith. He's been in office for 44 years. and I was hoping to break that streak, but we're behind a little bit. So my goal now is to beat the Libertarian.
Yeah.
And what were some of your key issues, and what's the district like?
Say that one again.
Issues.
Issues. Okay. Chris Smith is a right-wing lunatic as far as I'm concerned. He has his, I visited him. I belong to an organization called ACS CAN, where we go and we visit people in Washington for our congressional district and ask them to fund cancer programs properly. Literally, he has like a 4-foot crucifix in his office in Washington, D.C. He believes his religion and no one else's is right. He's well, I'll give you another little bit of information. When his kids were younger, they got in-state tuition in Virginia. So he doesn't even live in the state.
Wow.
But he has an R in front of his name. And where I live, they vote for letters. They don't vote for people. So again, if I can beat the Libertarian, I'll be fairly happy, pull like 1% of the vote. I'll be happy with that. A lot of our candidates, we're watching on TV here, a lot of our candidates are pulling 1% or better, which for us is pretty good. For us is pretty good. So
can you
want
tell
to
us a
talk to
little
another
bit about,
candidate?
Can you tell us a little bit about the other candidates that are there with you?
Yeah, hey, Tom, come and talk to these people. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear. This is
Maybe
Tom
somebody
Canavo, who's running in Congressional District 2.
Someone have headphones, maybe?
National. GP National.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, introduce
It's
yourself.
hard to hear over here, but we're going crazy. We had a full slate this year. They're called the Green 13, all the candidates in the Senate. I'm running in District 2. I'm the only race where there is no other third-party candidate. It's just the Republican, the Democrat, and me. So at this point, I'm trying to get 2%. It's the reddest district in our state, so it's tough.
Can you talk about some of the issues in your district?
I'm almost at 1,000 votes right now.
You got 725.
Wow, that's almost 1,000.
Yeah. Can you talk about the issues in your district or what you might have run on your platform? Yeah. Your issues?
I ran on the Medicare for all, and everything. Basically, the Green Party platform, living wage, $25, Green New Deal. Basically everything that's progressive. I'm an Italian American, so I called myself the progressive paisan. So we'll see what happens. If I can get 2%, maybe I'll run again in a couple years. We'll see what happens.
Wonderful.
How did the voters respond to Medicare for all? And
What's
why
that?
is that important? What was the response to Medicare for all?
It was excellent, except they had a debate here. You might have read about it, and they excluded me, even though there were only 3 candidates in the race. They purposely excluded me from the public debate. And then in our corporate media, they never mentioned once in our state media any of the Green Party or third party candidates. So that's what we're up against. We're up against a really strong duopoly state here in New Jersey. A lot of even statutes on the books are geared towards favoring the duopoly candidates. And next year is our gubernatorial election. And just to get in the debate, there's a statute that says we have to raise over $500,000 just to be in the debate. So that's the kind of thing that goes on here with our legislature and trying to keep us down in the Green Party. We're going to be looking at some lawsuits because we did have a famous lawsuit here in which the ballot was declared in the primary, in the Democratic primary for the duopoly parties. It was declared unconstitutional because the way it was set up, they called it the party line. We were the only state to have it, where they put everybody underneath the candidate of the party, and the party bosses decided basically who was the nominee. So that was declared unconstitutional. And then they basically, some of the counties in New Jersey kept the unconstitutional format because the court case only applied to the Democratic primary. They made it a point to say we're only applying our decision to the Democratic primary.
Really?
So I'm in 6 counties in my district, and in 2 of the counties I have a constitutional ballot position, and in 4 of the counties I have an unconstitutional ballot position, where I'm all the way out in Siberia with Jill and our Senate candidate. So we wanted to help Jill out on the down ballot by having a bunch of candidates under her, but it turned out in a lot of the counties we ended up being in Siberia with just the 3 Green Party candidates, all the way out to the right in column I in some of the races. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with an entirely rigged system here in New Jersey. But one of our candidates, as Barry said, appears to be breaking through, and we're getting conflicting stories as to whether the numbers are real or not. My guess is the media is ignoring it. Right now, they're showing a speech from the Democrat who won the Senate race here in New Jersey.
Well, it's going to be hard to ignore it if he wins.
I got to go, guys, but thanks for talking to me.
Thanks
Stay green.
Yes.
Do you have another candidate there?
Is there another candidate?
No, Steve's going. Congressional District 3, Steve Welser, co-founder of the Green Party, New Jersey, coming on.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, Steve.
It's hard to hear him.
You got to yell.
How you doing, Steve?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Good to
You're
see
here
you.
with Peter Lavinia from New York and Mark Dunley from New York.
Yeah, I'm an old friend of Mark Dunley.
I remember Steve was Jill Stein's campaign treasurer in 2016.
2016.
Yes. So how's your campaign going? How did your campaign go? Tell us about your campaign and who's Steve.
The interesting thing for me that we're watching is that in my district, the Republican and the Democrat are virtually tied at 49%. And so there's a decent possibility that my candidacy will make the difference in the race. So that kind of thing always gets some news, you know.
Yeah.
That's what we're watching to see right now.
Wonderful.
What were some of the issues you raised?
You know, I really was very heavy on the ranked choice voting issue. See, because I did get a chance to debate with the Republican and the Democrat. So, and I think that I appeared with the Democrat a couple of times, and I think I established some kind of relationship with him. He's a real nice guy, and I think I got through to him about the issue of electoral system reform, because he seemed to be open to that. So I kept drumming on that, and I have a feeling he'll wind up being the candidate to get elected. And then you know, if he's serving in Congress, I'll urge him to sign on to that ranked choice voting bill that's in Congress. Let me get you our other candidate. We have one more candidate here.
All right.
One more? Who are you at 13?
Yeah, Robin. Yeah. They wanted to talk to all our.
I know my grandmother's great.
I was telling how written.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Robin.
Hi, Peter from New York, and
Can't hear it. It's hard to hear. Sorry.
So Robin, tell us about yourself and about your candidacy.
What can I tell you? I'm running. I was running for House of Representatives in New Jersey's District 1. This was all started because of South Jersey for Gaza, which is a group we started to protest the genocide in Gaza. They tried to after a series of delegations to congresspeople and senators in our state, our group decided to run somebody against the congressman in my district. They tried to run a Democrat in the primary, but she didn't get on the ballot. So then I offered to run as a Green to get on the ballot to challenge Donald Norcross, who is a cheerleader for genocide, basically. So
He's a big party boss in New Jersey, right? Very famous.
I'm sorry?
Norcross, big
Yes.
famous party boss. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's my district. That's a lot of people hate him, but obviously not, not enough to have someone unseat him. He had something like $18 million to spend on this campaign, and I had about $4,000. So
Yeah.
it was a big difference right there. So
Anything else about your district or issues that you might want to talk, things that you ran on that you want to talk about?
Well, I ran on mostly economic issues, basically pushing for Medicare for all, forgiving student loans, affordable housing, what else? Proposing a Green New Deal that would, create jobs while cleaning up the environment, that kind of thing. And that we couldn't have those things as long as we were arming Israel. So it was, the emphasis was reprioritizing from away from war and towards servicing the people in this country.
Sounds like the core of the Green message, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Almost. I'm up to 3,000. Okay. Anyway.
Wonderful.
I think we're going to jump to our United States Senate candidate from Michigan, who has joined us online.
Okay.
We hope that Christina is going to be able to join us at some point. I understand she's at work.
I'm sorry, she's at
Christina.
Yeah, she's at the other party in North Jersey.
She's at the other party.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to jump to Douglas.
Okay.
Have a good time.
Bye-bye. Nice to have you. Bye. Hi.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, Douglas. How goes Michigan tonight?
Michigan goes well. I'm in third place, and as expected, but the numbers are coming in, and I'm just having a quiet one at home. I'm a community journalist, so I was driving around to about 10 different polling places and covering it for the newspaper, talking to clerks and checking on all the election proceedings. I'll write a story about it for the newspaper later when I report all the results, kind of get a on the ground feel for how the day went, whose machines jammed, and who had to get people back in line.
Do you want to talk a little bit about Michigan, right? And about kind of the vote there? I know that Jill's over in Dearborn, but just what it's like on the ground for Greens there this year, especially.
Yeah, Greens are trying to build back from COVID, kind of disrupting a lot of organizing that was happening, and there's the train. We did field like 15 or 20 candidates, and we tried to stage some demonstrations and stuff during our campaigns and tried to work together with the various campaigns. Kind of the most recent, I think it was October 18th, we released a press statement relating to trying to break into the Senate debates.
Hmm.
A couple of corporate news outlets, Wood TV in Grand Rapids, and then WXYZ Channel 7, I think that's an ABC channel in Detroit, both had Alyssa Slotkin and Mike Rogers, the Democrat and Republican, respectively, for debates on 2 dates. And I requested to be a part of those. And theoretically, there's a law that says if a broadcaster puts a candidate on TV, they just had the case with Kamala Harris.
The equal time rule, yeah.
In Saturday Night Live. So I actually demanded to be included and to participate in the debates on the same FCC rule, because I knew that these campaigns were planning and producing this event with these candidates, and they were going to air these candidates. So I said, well, I'm also a candidate. I'm also on the ballot. I'm a legally qualified candidate. So I believe that I'm also entitled to this airtime. But they comfortably ignored me because as long as there's 2 candidates, then they're allowed to exclude any others because they haven't given any single individual candidate any particular advantage. And so they've used this loophole ever since, the latest challenge that a fellow Green Party member passed on to me, and I didn't find any more recent challenge, was Dennis Kucinich in 2008, trying to challenge CNN regarding the Democratic primaries. He tried to challenge CNN and get equal time in a debate, and the FCC ruled with CNN and said, you don't get any time as long as they're not singling out a candidate. Then it's just a news event.
It's another way. Yeah, it's another way the system is completely rigged, right, against Green and other smaller party candidates. They can just decide what they want in terms of broadcasting Democrats and Republicans and leave us out. So it's tough. Can you talk about some of the issues that you ran on in Michigan?
Yeah, I was really out front, stop the genocide and stop the illegal occupation of the West Bank and the Israeli apartheid against the Palestinian people. Those, were out front issues. And I also was for Medicare for all. I wanted to bring that back into the conversation. I couldn't believe that both of the major political parties ditched that in the middle of the pandemic and have just left it for dead ever since. Like, I still want to make healthcare a rational and reasonable system in this country. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, there's examples abound, right, of reasonable nationalized healthcare systems. Like this weird for-profit insurance, private insurance, like, industry that we have in this country. Like, it's bizarro. We're living in a bizarro world with our healthcare non-system, our sick care non-system, right? So this is a huge green plank that I think, like, really connects to people in Michigan. Like, everybody I talk to in Michigan is really concerned about healthcare and their healthcare access and the quality of their healthcare. And so that really touches everybody, and it's a core concern. And housing also is a problem for people in Michigan. Just that's so nationwide and so pervasive to the cost of housing. So I have experienced that myself. Like, these are issues that I experienced in my own life, and that most of the people in Michigan that I talk to also experience issues with. And it seems really related to national level, Senate level policy decisions when it comes to, you know, cost of healthcare, cost of housing on a wider level. And another thing I was running on was the Line 5 pipeline and the Line 5 tunnel project.
Talk a little bit about that for the national audience.
Sure. The Enbridge company, it's a multinational oil company that runs pipelines. It's the same pipeline that was running like through the Bad River Indian Tribes lands, I think is the name of the tribe in northern Wisconsin. And the Bad River Band has won in court and gotten some injunctions for Enbridge violating their sovereign tribal territory. Here in Michigan, Enbridge had a major pipeline leak in the Kalamazoo River in the 2010s, late 2000s, early 2010s. That was one of the bigger inland waterway oil spills in North America. And currently they operate a Line 5 pipeline that runs underneath the Mackinac Straits. So underneath where the Lake Michigan and Lake Huron meet under the Mackinac Bridge. Very near the Mackinac Bridge, they have a pipeline that sits on the lake bed, and it's pumping oil. It's been pumping oil for 70 years, and it was manufactured for an operational life of 50 years.
Yeah.
So it's 20 years past its manufactured operating life. They've continued to pump oil through it for 20 years past its operating life, and they're not stopping. And their solution to this dangerous, it's subject to anchor strike. It's a known hazard, but it's an international oil pipeline. So there's international interests involved, and there's been no ability for local authorities to stop it. So it continues to go on, and they want to drill a tunnel underneath the lakes and then run the oil through a pipeline in the tunnel. And so right now it's before the Army Corps of Engineers. Former Governor Rick Snyder formed a Straits Corridor Authority to oversee Enbridge's project, basically to make a board to establish a public-private partnership between the multinational and the state, which is sort of turned it into an interesting regulatory environment with a multinational corporation and so many regulatory bodies and different concerns. It's turned into a real quagmire, and basically the Green Party position, to me, is just the common sense position, which is stop putting this oil underneath and through our waterways, our fresh waterways. Stop doing it. Go around. I mean, I know we're not going to, the green position is we should transfer away and stop the use of these fossil fuels. And I think we should. But just a very immediate common sense solution is, well, stop putting it underneath the rivers and the lakes. Why would you do that? So that's also been one of my planks campaigning.
Great.
Can you tell us a little bit about, what are the election results so far we're seeing in Michigan, and how particularly is Jill Steinman doing? I know there's been a lot of support from the Arab American community, for the Greens out there. Is that actually showing up on election day in the polls?
Well, the results are very early, I guess. I've got about 11.63% in, and I'm in third place behind the Democrat and the Republican. Like, the Democrat spent $40 million on this campaign. There's not a lot I can do against a $40 million juggernaut of a Senate campaign by a CIA veteran turned state government apparatchik. So I wasn't really hoping to beat Slotkin. That was a big ask, but I am doing good numbers. I'm in third place, and I'm beating the Libertarian for right now, which is a big deal in Michigan, which because Michigan has a pretty strong Tea Party kind of hyper conservative or constitutionalist sort of,
Sure, right wing kind of ideologues.
Well, yeah, just very individualist, I guess. Individualist and traditional family oriented, I guess, is another way.
I remember back in the 90s, the Michigan militia.
Back in the 90s, brother, it never left. It's still around. Yeah, I could still find it if I like. I'm in the middle of the state. I'm not in one of the metro areas, and I came from kind of a rural place, so I'm only a couple of degrees away from some of those militia fellas.
Oh, okay.
They're important degrees.
Yes. Wonderful. So, did Jill get a chance to visit or campaign with you? Do you want to talk a little bit about the importance of Jill campaigning?
Yeah, I was just pulling up the presidential results for Michigan. I'm pulling that up, and I would say I went to at least one rally where I met Jill Stein. In Warren, I think it was, at a Muslim cultural center for an abandoned Harris event. And we attended that. Oh, it looks like Jill Stein's she's almost got 1%. And it's got 5,530 votes. I think this is in Michigan. So almost as many as me, but I might have campaigned a little bit more than her in Michigan since she had so many more places to go.
Well, the night is young. I'm seeing, well, I don't know if this is correct. I was seeing that there's only 12% of the vote in. So we'll see where those votes are coming from, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, it's fun to follow. This is my first campaign ever.
All right.
I joined the Green Party like a year and a half ago. I guess kind of they asked for someone, but way back in like April of 2023, the Green Party of Michigan put out a call on social media and said, Debbie Stabenow is retiring and we would like to field a candidate in this race. And I just did a quick double take at the Green Party's platform. And behold, what did I find but anti-capitalism and eco-socialism? And I said, oh,
yeah.
Well, the Green Party has finally seen the light. And I could, subscribe to a Green Party program because the Green Party came around to a different orientation to this this machine that runs our country and is kind of a human meat grinder that I've really wanted to battle for a long time, and I've been waiting for like a political party and a vehicle to do it, and I hope the Green Party can be that vehicle.
Yeah, the machine we call capitalism, right?
Yeah.
So I believe we have another candidate waiting at this point. So good luck, Doug.
Thank you so much, Doug. Nice
Thank you.
to talk with you.
You too.
Well, Craig, are you a candidate?
I am not. I am. I'm here with the back of the North Green Party, North Jersey Green Party event. I do have a candidate here that I cannot come on in one sec for you, but we're all sitting in the wings here about these results because the results keep bouncing back and forth.
Right.
We hear it's a glitch, but yeah, I'm going to have my my other candidate who is running. So just to give a recap on everybody, we had the Green 13 up in North Jersey. We had earlier John Serrano and Ben Taylor speak. There are other candidates that are running, obviously. Christina Khalil is going to try to remotely log in. We're working on that now. We had in CD5 Bo Forte. He ran against Josh Gottheimer. His main issues, of course, were healthcare. His personal story was one of the reasons why we approached him to run and come under the banner of the Green Party for his campaign. And then obviously with everything going on, he also, was leading on, being an anti-genocide candidate as well. And also up in North Jersey, we had C.J. Robbins and CD8. He's running against Robert Menendez Jr. And C.J. had attended a couple of functions in North Jersey and Hudson County, but his career and everything and personal stuff took over, so he wasn't able to campaign as hard as he wanted to. But so far, with the percentage of votes, he's earning the most percentage of the unaffiliated candidates so far. So we're proud of the campaign and the support that he was getting this cycle as well. But I have Lily Benavides here, so I'm going to have her come on the stream here and speak about her campaign. Can you hear?
Hello.
Oh, hi. Yes, hi. This is Lily Benavides.
Sorry, it's hard to hear you.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
You're on Bluetooth. You should be able to hear. Huh? Can you hear?
Can you hear me now?
It's okay. It's low.
You want to try left here.
Hello? Now you're completely gone. The other one was better.
It better to be muted.
Okay. You're muted. We can't hear you. You're muted. I think someone hit the mute button.
Technology is wonderful.
It is wonderful, Mark. How are you doing tonight?
Oh,
there you go. That's right.
Okay. Hello?
Much better. You're back.
I can't hear them.
You can't hear them?
You can't hear us? Now we're muted. Hello? We're not muted.
You should be able to hear.
You should be able to hear us. Well, folks, it's technology. What can we say?
Oh.
See if the headphones are
Okay.
linked. See if the headphones are linked.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Hi, this is Lily Benavides. I was running for Congressional District 11 in New Jersey against Mikey Sherrill. It seems like I got 1% as what they have counted now. And I was running against her because of military spending and immigration.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit and their positions and how your positions are different?
Okay. Military spending, she's big on that. She has voted for every single thing that means spending money on Israel and Ukraine. And she's very close friend with Zelensky. He comes often here and she's always, posting pictures and stuff with him. So they seem like to be close friends. And she's absolutely totally supporting Israel. And also Palestinian. There's Mondays with Mikey in front of her office, and we've been there rallying, and there's a group of people from that group that goes inside and tries to talk to her and her staff, and they've been doing that for the whole year. But she's not, she's just, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing about immigration. I know her from before when I was working with immigrant rights organizations, and we used to go to her office to meet with her, and she promised that she was going to help the families, right, that were struggling with
Yeah.
that and that were detained. We even brought kids from those families from a couple meetings, and she always seemed to be very moved about it. But then the following week, she was voting for more ICE detention centers and more border patrol, you know. So that's been going on for years, and it seems I couldn't find that information, but it seems like she had uh, some money invested on one of those private prison companies, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's been cheating all the time. She was cheating on the stock exchange, and they just give her they just gave her a fine, and that was it. They never said anything about it. You know, now
Slap
that
on
I
the
was
wrist.
running, she spent like $12,000 from taxpayers' money on ads on Facebook. We made a complaint to the state, to FEC, and the electoral board. We never heard from them. Nothing, nothing. So, and she she's the winner. That's what they're saying now.
Yeah.
But by January, she's going to resign. So by doing that, Murphy is going to name whoever they want to take her seat.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
because
another break.
she's going to run for governor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the Jill's campaign and how Jill affected you or inspired you?
Okay. I became independent in 2014, and I joined the Green Party in 2016. I was a Democrat way before, like in 2007. I ran in New Hampshire. I was a legislator for one term. Um, but it was a really bad experience. And Democrats just gave me a kick on the butt. They hated me because I was there with the purpose of doing something about immigration, about the issues that were going on there. People were stopped on the roads and on the streets by ICE officers. So we were trying to pass a law that prohibit that police were helping them.
Yeah.
And the Democrats hated me for that. They never supported me, and it was a really bad experience. I was harassed. It was terrible. I was the only Latina there, so yeah, that was hard. And then I left everything for a while because I was sick. I went on disability, so I wasn't doing any politics at all. And then 2014, I left. I was still registered as Democrat, but I left after the fiasco with Obama.
Yeah.
The only reason I voted for Obama and some people that I know that we supported him was because of DACA. That was the only reason. And as we know, it never came anything permanent, right? It was just it's still there. They're still hanging in there, you know. And the same thing with TPS holders, temporary protected status.
Yeah.
They're still there after 20 something years, and they never got anything permanent. In any new administration that comes on, they are always threatened, that they were going to take that status from them.
And the Democrats work with the Republicans, right? I mean, Obama got called the porter in chief.
Yeah. And Obama had the chance to have fixed all that, but he didn't. He didn't do anything. And when he got DACA out, he only did it to get elected for the second term. That's we basically felt blackmailed, to do it because of the kids the second time. That's
Yeah.
how I felt. And now I really get very upset with anyone talking about immigration and saying that, not saying, but accepting anything that is just crumbs, okay? And organizations, immigrants organizations that accept that. Anytime that any politician like Biden comes up and say, we are going to do this for immigrants. And we know that executive orders are not good because they are not permanent. Okay. And they accept that. And I understand that people are desperate, but I think that we haven't really given a fight on that, and we should not accept that. Not settle for less.
I agree.
That's just not. It's not okay after so many years of not having any solution on the immigration issue. And Jill, yeah, I mean, I voted for her in 2016, and I've been supporting her on social media all I can, sharing stuff all the time. I'm talking to people, and I completely identified 100% with the platform, with the Green Party and with their platform. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And now we have to work with the communities, like do real work, like activism. Well, I'm an activist, but we really have to go on the streets and do things different this time and work with the communities because maybe we didn't get a lot of votes, but that's a start,
Yeah.
We can't stop now. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you for running, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Let me call Craig because I don't know what to do with this.
Sure.
Craig. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
He's coming. Okay. Here.
Oh, it's fine.
Hey, Craig, so I think we're going to go switch to Rachel Bratton now.
Yeah.
The
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
We're going to switch to
more
another candidate at this point. Can you hear us?
How about now?
Yes, we can hear
we
you.
can hear you. Can you
All right,
hear
great.
us?
Yes,
Okay,
I can.
We're switching to another candidate.
Great. Well, thanks so much for covering New Jersey. We're so close on a few of these races to be the quote unquote spoiler, but our candidates ran hard. They ran on their issues, and we're just excited for the new energy that's coming into the Green Party of New Jersey to support through the Palestinian, Muslim, Arab community too. And we're going to roll on to 2025. Thanks,
Great.
everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Well, I am going to say goodnight to everyone. I want to say go green. And I'm going to turn it over to Gloria at this point. Have a good night, everyone.
Well, welcome back, Gloria.
Hi there. Thank you for joining us, Mark. Thanks to Peter, my co-chair in New York, for doing some hosting. So I think we have another candidate coming up. And here she is.
Now,
let her
Rachel-
introduce herself. And Mark and Rachel work together, so we're gonna let them take it.
Yeah, I just heard, Rachel, you're going to be at a bonfire, but go ahead and introduce yourself, what race you're running for and everything.
Yes, I am at a bonfire. I'm hosting the bonfire at my house. So there's people in the house, there's people out at the bonfire. both. I'm running for mayor of Crystal, Minnesota. And I'm working to green the suburbs, bringing climate solutions, running a grassroots people-partied campaign. And I've had great reception. We don't have the results yet, but, we started early and, got the team sort of figured out first, and then started the fundraising early. And then, I got some great artists involved with my my logo and imaging, and then people dropped off and new people came on, and I just feel like, I've had a few really amazing, really active volunteers that have just done so much work. And I have a really good chance of winning. So we'll see. I don't know yet. The polls are closed and we could find out any minute. I could get the call now. So I don't know.
So I believe this is the first time you ran for office. What made you decide to take the plunge?
Well, I was complaining a lot. And I was asking a bunch of different people who I thought would be decent mayors if they would run. I told them I would help them run their campaign. Every one of them had their own reasons for not running for mayor. So I just it dawned on me eventually that if I care so much, I suppose it's supposed to be me. So, and I'm qualified. I have a master's degree in counseling. I've, stuck through difficult times, and anything I need to learn, I can learn. And I have passion to make changes for the climate. And if I can meld cost savings with climate solutions, then everybody's going to win. So I'm thinking about projects and policy ideas that would stack functions, to serve as many different functions as possible. And yeah.
Yeah, Rachel, what tell us a little bit about how you were campaigning. It's kind of not a huge city, right? And so were you able to do much door to door? Did you do social media? What are some of the strategies you use to get the word out about your campaign?
Yeah, I'll tell you something. I have gone door to door, and I've walked almost all of the streets of this city now, more than once. So definitely it's been a grassroots campaign, and I have heard from so many people how refreshing it is and how optimistic they feel when they see me actually going, knocking on people's doors, talking with them, listening to them, and telling them face to face what kinds of things I want to try to accomplish. That is something that is foreign to the people of this city. Apparently, the politicians, the city council members, the mayor hasn't been doing that as much. And so they've been really grateful to me. They've expressed gratefulness to me that I've been doing that, But I've went through it. We had a primary literature piece. We didn't actually have a primary. It was assumed by us that we would have a primary, but the mayor decided not to rerun. And so, but I went through the city with the primary lit, and then got this amazing trifold piece, and just the teamwork it takes just to put something like that together is, I'm so proud of my team. It's, graphics artists and people who know things about formatting, and the logo guy, and the photographer, and just, there's just this whole team of people that you have to sort of, keep in touch with, get organized. And And then it's the work, and then it's getting it out there and talking with people. And I'm the happiest I've ever been doing this. I'm probably the happiest I've ever been walking so much. And yeah.
And one of your issues had to deal with transportation or transit.
Right. Yeah.
How did that go with the people you talked to?
Yeah, people want that. As a matter of fact,
Could you explain what it is?
Yeah. So the idea is an electric circulator bus just for our city. So we are extremely underserved for transit here. We're a first ring suburb, and we
Of Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yeah, Minneapolis. So we have transit that sort of comes in. I think of it like fingers. Like we have like these fingers of transit, if I may, and they sort of come out and they come in and then they go back out, and they come in and they go back out, and there's nothing to connect them, if that makes sense. So that's my idea, is to have a circulator bus that can link everything together, that would serve us, the people. It would also serve our local businesses. And then if people want to get out, like to Minneapolis or wherever, on the light rail train or on one of the big transit buses, then they could get to those buses easier. The way it is right now, very few people are using our transit because it's not really accessible. So.
Oh, no, go ahead, Rick. Go right ahead.
I was going to say, and it should be able to be paid for by Hennepin County. So, because that's who pays for all of our transit. We pay for about a third of our property taxes goes to Hennepin County. And, we ought to get some of that back, and Minneapolis is very well served in this way. But we're paying and we're not getting that service. So we deserve it. And we need to solve the climate, pollution that's coming out of our tailpipes. And if it works, so this is where I'm talking about stacking functions. If it works for us, if we are physically healthier, if we're happier getting together with people in the community on the circulator bus, if we are getting to our local businesses, also saving money, by not having to pay for gasoline, or maybe not even needing a vehicle anymore, then we're stacking functions on how useful something like this can be. And so it just makes so much sense.
Yeah, and I know that you are, you may have said this early, or leader, co-chair of the National Party's Eco Action Committee. And so it's really, I'm hearing you talk about these local solutions that will, address those kinds of things in your area. I'm just wondering, like, the connections with what's, how the National Party and some of the work that you're doing nationally, along with Mark, how does that fit in? What is the bigger picture in terms of dealing with climate from a Green Party perspective?
Yeah, so let me just start by saying, number one, climate change is real. Number two, it's created by humans. Number three, it's an existential threat. And number four, we have a responsibility to do something about it. And there are resources out there that you can look at, like Mark's book, for instance, or Drawdown, where there are these comprehensive sort of game plans on how we can solve the climate crisis. We don't have to come up with any like new technology or anything. It's actually possible right now. We just have to take action. Mm-hmm. So bringing the electric circulator bus to the suburbs is one of those things that absolutely needs to happen. And if I have to be the first one to insist, then that's what I'll do. And I would be the first one in this region anyway.
That's great. And so is there some significance about the bonfire? I'm just curious about that as someone who lives in Brooklyn, and that's not allowed. We're not allowed to have fire pits.
I love fire. It makes me happy. And, there were some different ideas sort of tossed around about what to do on election night within my circle. And fire makes me happy. And so I decided to do sort of a low key. I have friends and family and volunteers here. You're only seeing me, but the people are amazing. So I just wanted it to be a fun night, and I wanted to be surrounded by people who know me and love me, and I didn't necessarily want to go to a bar or some place that we have to rent or whatever. So
sounds super cozy. Mark, did you want to say anything else?
I'll let you get back to your friends and family.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Good luck. We look forward to not just hearing your results, of course, but what the plans are after Election Day, because I think what the message has been this evening with all our candidates is tomorrow is day one in terms of continuing our organizing, ramping up the work that we do. And obviously, no matter who wins the presidency, we have a long road ahead, and we are really ready for it. So we thank you for being part of that.
Thank you. Okay. I'll see you soon, Mark.
I want to thank Mark for joining us for a while. Mark, since Rachel mentioned your book, why don't you just give yourself a plug for that? And if you have an Eco Action webinar coming up, do that too.
Yeah, we do have an Eco Action webinar next Monday. It'll be at 8 p.m. We're going to give an update on the 2 COPs that have taken place. One just took place on biodiversity, and then one actually starts next Monday on climate. So we'll be giving sort of a summary of that. My book is on the website Green Education Legal Fund, basically GELFNY.org, putting out the planetary fire, sort of a organized and guide and handbook for people who want a basic introduction to climate.
And there you go. Rachel has it on front and center on her bookshelf. And so good luck, Rachel. Thank you, Mark. We're going to have a little break, folks that are watching, and be back again in a few minutes.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back, folks. Gloria Matera here from the Media Committee of the National Party, co-chair of the Green Party of New York, and I am joined by my co-chair on the Media Committee. Why don't you introduce yourself, my friend?
Hey, y'all. I'm Greg Jokoy, and I'm from Simpsonville, South Carolina. And I'm a member of the South Carolina Green Party Steering Committee. And as Gloria said, her cohort in crime. I will not be that for much longer. And I did want to mention with the all you folks out there that are watching who are new to the Green Party and you're itching for something to do, the Green Party of the United States has a serious need for someone to really kickstart our TikTok account. So if there's somebody out there who's really, not TikTok, Snapchat. So if there's somebody out there who's really keen on that and knows what they're doing, please get in touch. All right, that's all I had to say. I'm very glad to be here tonight. This is all very exciting.
Well, actually, what we could tell everyone that we are on all the social media platforms. So please, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us Twitter X. Or follow us on Instagram. And as Greg said, if you are new to the Green Party, if you are a Green Party member in a state that has a state party, talk to them, check them out. But we have these committees on a national level that we can really use new people to help out and join, because remember, we know that everyone is talking about this being the historic election in decades. But tomorrow for us, for the Green Party, no matter who wins the presidency, no matter how our presidential candidate, Jill Stein, her running mate, Butch Ware do, that we will be ready to organize and ready to continue fighting for universal health care, pushing to stop the U.S. funding of arms, to stop this genocide, and actually to do the kinds of things that we need to do for the planet and the people and the other species on it. And so I think we may have some candidates coming up, but
outstanding.
Are you, are there any candidates running in your state?
South Carolina, yes, we had a vice presidential and a presidential candidate. What you were speaking about is exactly what we decided to do about a year ago. We said, let's focus on building our chapters. And now we've had a solid year where we have been working on that, getting our website prepared, getting our communication system down, things of that nature. And now we've added so many people to our network of friends that the old folks like me can kind of move out of the way and let some of the younger folks step in and pick up the keys and drive the bus for a little while, because I have a lot of confidence in these younger folks. I really do. They're really showing themselves to know what they're doing. And I mean, just listening to Rachel a few minutes ago, it reminded me of David Doonan, who was elected there in New York as mayor of a small town. I think people all across the country should be considering running for mayors of small towns, obviously, if you live in the town. But it's an executive position in most small towns. There's no town manager. You simply go in there and you do the things that need to be done, and you work with the other members of the town council, and it can be a very rewarding experience. The only time I ran for any office as a member of the Green Party was in 2001, I believe it was, when I that's right, I ran in a special election for town council in Fort Mill, which is a small town in South Carolina. And I can't remember exactly, but I think I lost by, oh goodness. Oh no, that's right. That's right. My wife ran that time. She lost by 37 votes. And then the following year in the regular election, I ran and I lost by a lot more. But yeah, it's a small town. The door-to-door actually still works in many places. People are afraid to do door to door, but I got to tell you, if you're in a relatively small town, and I'm talking, even 10,000, you're going to see the same people at the grocery store and so on. It's a lot easier to say, hey, where do you live? Could you invite me around to some of your to meet some of your neighbors, etc. Go for it. I mean, there's no reason to hesitate. It's not. It doesn't take a ton of money to run for these offices. And the truth of the matter is, the more races we enter, the more elections we will win. And once we are in a position of power, we can then exercise that power on behalf of the people who elected us. And when they see that we actually do what we say we're going to do, then they will want to have more of us elected to office. And unfortunately, things like, pardon me, things like this war in Gaza, that sort of behavior is not going to change. Even if somehow Israel turned around tomorrow on a dime and said, we're gonna change everything and make it the way, exactly as the people in Palestine want. That's just one of the crises around the world that have to be dealt with. And then there are global crises like global climate change, like the poisoning of the ocean. So that's it. I will hush up now, Gloria.
And speaking of candidates, I think we have some results, at least for some Green Party candidates that were elected. So I'm going to share that with people, though you can actually go to gpelections.org, election-report/2024. But we have, I may have to put my glasses on for this, my green glasses. Our just elected governing board, Williams representative in the Joint Technical Education District in Coconino County, that's Arizona. In California, we had a number of candidates elected. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candidates elected there for County Board of Education, Board of Directors, County Water District, a number of things. Can list them all there. Maybe we could share that link to people at some point. District of Columbia, we've had 3 candidates elected. In Florida, we have a candidate, Kim O'Connor, the Leon Soil and Water Conservation District. And so we're pretty excited about the fact that these smaller races where Greens often have an opportunity to meet with voters, to get more known in the community where they are winning those elections. That's where a lot of the good work that local Green Party candidates can do when they're elected around improving the environment, different resources, transportation, housing. And so, we also want to make a point to say, for those out there who think the Green Party comes around every 4 years and runs for president, mucking up the works for the two parties of war in Wall Street, we actually run candidates in every cycle and we win elections. We have, I think, about at least maybe 155 to 160, not counting tonight's victories, of Greens are currently in office. We have probably 165 candidates or more currently running, so we'll hear more about them. And I think that we probably have a few candidates with us right now. So let's, we have a few candidates kind of waiting for us. So let's bring in our candidate from New Jersey, Christina Khalil.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, Christina. Sure can.
Welcome, Christina. I know you have had a busy day because you're a working candidate and also working.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm outside. I have to walk my dog.
Okay, it's a little hard to see you. Would you like to come back later, or you?
Yeah, just give me You can give me like 7 minutes. We're almost done with the walk.
You know what? That's important. We're going to have another candidate come in and just, we'll let you know and just sign in later when you're there. Okay, so let's have Chester Todd come in from Wisconsin.
Hey, good evening. How's everyone?
Hello, Chester.
Hi, Chester.
Welcome.
I'm doing well.
I
Please
hope you are
introduce
too.
yourself. Introduce yourself, what you're running for, where you are, and let's talk a little bit about your campaign.
I'm Chester Todd. I'm running for the 1st Congressional District in Wisconsin. The incumbent is Brian Stiles, a Republican, and the other candidate running is a Democrat by the name of Peter Balk out of Kenosha. We're holding our own far as, like we got, I don't know, Pete, my campaign manager's on here too.
Actually, we're going to ask Pete to join us, if
Okay.
that's okay. So we didn't
Yes, please.
realize Peter was joining in, but that'd be great to have him here with us.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he'll be-
So I think last count I had close to about 2,500 votes or something, So.
Hey, 2,500 votes. That's a that's a not insignificant number. That's a lot of votes. I've been watching your social media posts, and I know an awful lot about your campaign from those posts, but many of the people who are watching us right now may not. So what did you decide? Why did you decide that you wanted to run for Congress? And what were the issues that you pursued? Like say your top 2 or 3 issues.
Not necessarily in this order, but reparations, the economy, and definitely the genocide going on in Gaza. And there's more, but the genocide really probably has influenced me as time has went on.
And how
It's
have people
heartbreaking, isn't
reacted
it?
to that? How have people, when you're out there campaigning, are you the only candidate running for that office for Congress that's speaking out against the genocide? And what kind of response have you been getting?
Oh, great response on about the genocide. But the other two, no. They, Democrat and Republican, they're basically they don't even mention the genocide. Of course.
Yeah, that's really disheartening, isn't it? Because they know about it as well as you do.
Oh yeah, of course. Probably much more than I do.
Right, exactly. One of the things that you mentioned was reparations, and I just want the folks that are listening who are maybe tuning into us for the first time. I remember when Efia Wangaza ran for the United States Senate here in South Carolina as our candidate, I think in 2004, and she went to the Green Party National Convention as our representative. Or as our spokesperson from South Carolina, and she said, "Well, first we're going to have to address the elephant in the room, and that's reparations." And the room exploded with people just basically saying, "Yes, yes, yes."
Yes.
And the Green New Deal came from us.
Mm-hmm.
We did not create reparations. No, sir. No, sir. I'm not going to claim that. No way. All right. But reparations as a political issue for candidates was at least pushed forward by the Green Party before the Democratic Party started pushing it forward. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I would say that's fair. And right now, the Democrats really, the only time they mention it is the 4 years, every 4 years that they come into the Black community. And but we have to understand and remember that Dr. King, and I remember a paper he wrote that the first thought of genocide, of reparations, has to go to the Native Americans, and then come Black. Then there's it's a very complicated situation on 2 fronts for Blacks. we must remember that when blacks first came here as slaves, that was under the British. And so we go to 1776, I believe, somewhere in there, when America would be taxed on reparation. And so, and then the other piece of reparation is who qualifies. Once in the black community, who would qualify, and that would be the African descendant of the slaves. So that would leave Kamala and Obama out. They couldn't get it, you know.
That's just too complicated. Chester, if you don't care, we're going to go ahead and bring in Pete now.
Please, please.
Gloria, I don't know Pete. I gather you know a bit about him, so I'm going to shut up.
Well, welcome, Pete. Why don't you introduce yourself to
Thank you.
everyone that's watching?
Sure. I'm Pete Karras. I've been a Green since, before 2000. I was elected Green, so I was on city council in Racine, Wisconsin for 3 terms. Right now, I have the best job in the world, which is Chester Todd's campaign manager. So that's a lot of fun. We're doing really well. We are at about 2.4% of the vote. And that is all in the rural areas. The cities have not come in yet, and that's the areas we have targeted. So we're getting 2% in from a bunch of farmers, which is really fantastic.
Fantastic.
So tell us a little bit about the campaign strategy. I know Chester had a commercial I saw, which I thought was really well done. But tell us a little bit about the kinds of campaign strategies you use. What kinds of methods were you using? Congress is a big, it's a big race, right? It's a big district, and so that can be challenging for a campaign depending on finances.
It is a big district, and it's a purple district that is definitely in play. So what we did with our $13,000-$14,000 as opposed to the millions of dollars that the Republicans and Democrats had was we targeted certain areas and certain precincts. We did that we had a lot of signage out and a lot in the Black, brown, and poor communities. And, the sign said, vote Chester, but they also very bold was equality, reparations, and liberation. So it was right in, it was right in your face. In addition, in those areas, we did doors and hit them pretty hard, but we ran streaming TV commercials. So we ran about 150,000 streaming TV commercials. They would go on, Hulu and all the streaming ones. My daughter, who's watching, she better be watching, placed this, and that's her. She has a marketing company, and we were able to pull that off for $4,000 or $5,000. YouTube ads. So we did not target the rural areas where the votes are coming in. We targeted the urban areas that we're waiting for. So hopefully those will be effective.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And, certainly probably more, kind of in the financial constraints of most smaller party candidates to be able to do it. And everybody has a streaming service or several. But I'm not thought about that. So that's a kind of wonderful thing. I just want to say that I know, Chester, you did get some financial support from the Green Party, I think the National Green Party. So we do want to put in a plug for the coordinated campaign committee.
Most definitely.
Who helps candidates, with some skills training, but also with some small grants. And it's been a wonderful addition. The committee's really ramped that up, giving some support to our candidates because, as most people know, Green Party candidates cannot take any corporate donations.
Right.
So we are at a disadvantage in the way the system is run in this country, which is the more money you get, you can get, the airtime you get, the consultants you buy, and on and on.
That's capitalism at work.
Hey, Chester.
Yes.
Would you like to talk, the campaign doesn't really end now. Would you like to talk a little bit about Xavier?
Oh, yes. It's my next door neighbor, exciting young man, 23 years old, young black fellow. He will be, the next time we run this race, he'll be in my spot. And you just I hope you get a chance to meet him. He's an exceptionally astute and intelligent young man at 23.
That's the way to do it, right? That it's bringing in newer people, young people, to kind of take the place of those of us who've maybe run for office for a while and been in the party for a while. Because I don't know if you found this in your area, but I certainly found in New York City first petitioning for Jill to be on the ballot, and then doing some outreach about our writing campaign, that just a number of young people are really interested in the party. They want to know what it is, and they're bringing their own ideas and their own skills to that.
And that's a point, that a very good point, because I think that I'm 83. I just turned 83 on last Saturday, on the 2nd. And it's the young people's world that's they're going to have to fight. And they got a hell of a fight in front of them. The wife and I, we have 29 grandkids and 20 great-grandkids. And, when you have that many, or just one grandkid, you start thinking, what's going to happen to my grandkid? What kind of world? Is there going to be a world that will sustain them? That's now us Greens, we're fighting for the life of the planet. That's number one, that we have to have this earth has to sustain us. And it seems like the capitalists don't really care about the health of the planet. All they want to do is extract everything they can out of it, and
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not surprised you're getting good vote numbers out of the farming areas, because after all, they do have to live with the planet as it is. They see the doggone thing changing, and they don't really much care for bankers.
No.
I hate to be rude, but is it okay with y'all if we go ahead and ask Gloria if she can bring in Christina? Do y'all have anything else that you wanted to do real quickly to wrap up? Anything?
Not I. Please bring
I just want to say thanks to the entire Green Party US, the CCC, the GCCC. Everybody has been extremely supportive of the campaign. Yes. And we're able to share ideas and I think make it better for everybody.
Yes.
Well, thank you both. And one day we hope to hear a little bit about when you were in office, Peter, and congratulations on the results that are coming in for you, Chester. And that reminds me that when talking about the CCC, that if people want to support the Green Party in terms of candidates, continuing to run candidates, continuing to get the word out there, you can go to gp.org/donate. And that would be a great way to support the smaller parties, the candidates that are really fighting for people, planet, and peace. You can also sign up at gp.org to volunteer, learn more about the Green Party, check out this Green Party that might be in your state. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Good evening, gentlemen. All righty. Well, I gather that our engineer is going to bring.
We're going to be joined by Christina Khalil.
Right.
Her dog is happy. He has been walked. I hope he had a little treat before bedtime.
Yeah, he got his dentist deck because teeth are very important.
Right. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Christina Khalil, and I ran in New Jersey for United States Senate. So the results are still coming in. I knew I was not going to win. I went very hard to win, but I was going up against $2 billion machines. So the odds were not in my favor, but whatever. The results keep coming in. So far, I have 1% of the entire vote, which is huge for my very first run. And there were 4 independents running, and I beat all 4 of them.
Well, that's tremendous. That's good results, and we know there probably will still be some more coming in. And why don't you tell us a little bit about your campaign? What are the issues that you were running on, and how did people respond to what you were promoting?
So the issues I was really running on was ceasefire. It was also like cleaning up the environment, and I was also discussing a rebuild Palestine. It was also helping Congo, and also affordable housing, universal health care, and tackling the education crisis. So, well, the student loan debt crisis. So it was really about progressive policies, and it was I raised $13,000 completely grassroots. And it was fun. It was a lot. And I'm very proud of myself because I worked the full time and I worked the part time. So I ran the campaign pretty much by myself. So for an entire Senate race, my very first time, and with all my responsibilities and juggling everything, for over 30,000 votes and 1%, I think that's just incredible. I also got like commercials. I have a media truck that was driving around, and I also had YouTube commercials going. So and being banned from mainstream media did hurt me a lot, but also working the jobs hurt me a lot. But this is something I might want to redo again in the future. I do have a plan to build support within the community. And I think I'm going to work on membership. And Steve's, who's running for governor now, that's official. He's got a plan to get 80 assembly members into office for Green. So we're going to see where that goes. I know I'm just going to focus on membership and take a break. So that's why I said I'm just going to focus on membership and take a break.
So obviously, I think we've all been saying tonight that it doesn't end at the end of election night for these candidates. Sounds like for you too, that it's building the Green Party, participating in the social movements of our time that are really important, and that we hope will make a difference in terms of turning things around in this country, changing how we do elections in this country. So it sounds like that your plan is to kind of build in New Jersey. What's the community where you live, or what you're trying to concentrate on? What are the big issues there?
Affordable housing, cleaning up the chemicals from our water. So I don't want to say like I lost. Like my friends that are very progressive, they won their races. So we're actually going to be, I'm going to be like, the little cheerleader in the background. I'm going to be with them, but they're going to be implementing like rent control. They're going to be implementing more community services, and they're going to be cleaning up the chemicals from the water within the town. So it's not a complete loss. It's like I did win. I won the independents. I also won, my friends won. So it's like we're still getting the results that we want.
Well, that's an interesting point. So something that has come up before is, can the Greens, and how do the Green Party candidates, local leaders, how do they get a place at the table? One of the things we know actually in Maryland, Andy Ellis, who will also be running for governor, he has been working, pretty closely with people in his state legislature in terms of changing really making some significant changes in terms of ballot access and election laws. And so differently in New York, we can say that the Green New Deal was really conceived in the US. There were parts of it, in Europe, European Greens, but by Howie Hawkins in 2010, when he and I ran for governor, lieutenant governor. But we got no credit for that, unfortunately. And in fact, it was kind of changed around in a way that the Greens wouldn't support. But, how do we have a seat at the table? It sounds like maybe you have already some connections in the community where your voice and your ideas will be considered.
Yeah. And also, I'm involved in I'll be involved in different political areas just with my career alone. So I think just focusing on building the support and organizing, that's where my main focus should be at. So I'm just gonna, I think if I won't do it in 2 years against Cory Booker, even though a lot of people hate him with a passion, I think if I play my cards right, we might have a first screen in like 2 years if I'm able to manage it. But I know I would have to quit one of my jobs and put the dedication there. I would just have to fundraise enough money just to make sure I'm capable of doing that. So I'm pretty happy. And there's a chance that we might keep the bank account open and we might continue with fundraising for that, because there are some people who are interested in running me in 2 years, and we're sort of building a team right now. But I said, if we're going to do that, we have to focus on fundraising your salaries. And if we hit the goal of whatever the salary mark is, then I'll do it. Otherwise, there's no way I'm doing this all by myself again.
No, and as your neighbor in New York, I had an opportunity to do some things with you and to see you in action.
It was so nice meeting you.
So it was really congratulations on your first run. Looking forward to the work you're going to do, working with you together, and so we will thank you for being here.
Yes. Oh, I'm up to 31,000 votes.
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry, just keep refreshing. I'm just like,
we'll keep that count going.
You'll be doing that until 2 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Thanks again, Christina.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Congratulations, Christina. Good night.
Good night. Bye.
So I want to thank everyone for sticking with us for these couple of hours. I think we brought you the breadth of some of the Green Party candidates that have been running this cycle, as I said, probably over 150, 160 or so. So we want to remind you to go to gp.org/donate, where you can continue to fund candidates like this, because no corporate money is allowed to be taken by Green Party candidates. And as you can see, many of the issues our candidates are talking about are the issues that affect your life, that you care about, that you haven't heard from the two parties of war and Wall Street. I want to thank my numerous co-hosts for joining. Greg for tonight, Mark Dunley, and Peter Lavinia, my Green Party comrades in New York. So it's really great. I want to thank Scott McClarty, our director, who really put this all together. I want to thank Adam Sunkin for producing, wonderful evening for us. And so remember that no matter what happens, we need to keep building a social movement. We need to keep promoting policies for people, planet, and peace. And so we hope to see you in the Green Party virtually, on our social media platforms, and in the streets with your state and local Green Parties. Good night, everyone.
Good night, y'all.